Halo, it's Jang here with all of the yearly Mega Bloks Halo mega sets. Whether they said signature series on the box or not, every year they come out with one big major set that's a Toys R Us exclusive. And I wanted to try to put all of them on screen at one time in one place at the same time. It's going to be very difficult to give you like perfect side-by-side comparisons of all of these together. They just take up so much space. So I'll just take two at a time, and I'm going to be comparing them mostly to the Spirit right now because that's the new one and that's the one that really needs comparisons today. I am leaving the NMPD Pelican set out of this discussion completely because let's just be real here. This does not belong in this discussion. It's just in a different class. First of all, Spirit versus Scarab. If you look up the in-universe stats for these two vehicles, craft, whatever they are, you'll see that this right here is rendered in a much larger scale than the Scarab is as models. So the difference in size in universe would be much more significant than you see here. But even at that, still, the Scarab really towers over the Spirit. I mean, the Scarab towers over everything, and a lot of that is because of the height of the legs, but it's a really massive thing, and I'm not sure that they will ever release a retail product that is larger than that Scarab. With the Spirit off the stand here, it's just on the ground at the same level. Gives you a little bit more fair comparison between the two. I mean, just such a towering thing here, but there is a good amount of visual presence, I think, with this Spirit. Don't look at him from this angle, though. That's just not fair. The next older set in the line was the Mammoth, and though the Mammoth doesn't have any of the height of the legs of the Scarab, if you bring the Scarab's legs in and just kind of try to focus on the bulk of the body, the Mammoth actually has a very similar overall mass and presence to the Scarab, larger in some ways, depending upon how you look at it, especially if you also don't consider the big turret, which looks even larger from the top. But yeah, a little bit closer comparison. But realistically speaking, the Scarab still owns all with its spidery legs. The Spirit has a much closer overall visual mass to the Mammoth, and if I didn't know anything about the Halo universe and I looked at these, just their sizes together, I would feel like they kind of belong together in a series of display models that would, intend to go together and be displayed together. The Spirit is actually quite a good deal longer than the Mammoth. The display stand does act as a bit of an equalizer, though. The Forward Unto Dawn, in my opinion, will always be a benchmark for display sets from Mega Bloks, but its scale of course limits play value and also the ability to display it with other things in like a diorama. The Spirit, I feel, kind of finds some middle ground in that sense because it is a ship of sorts. It's a small ship, but it is a ship and it has that sort of ship presence on display. And yet the way that it's designed, it has so much open space on the inside, and it has a little bit of terrain that it comes with for its stand and everything. And being relatively figure scaled, this thing looks good by itself, but you can also interact with other types of things. Lastly, I bring in the original Elephant, really just for the sake of completeness. It's kind of an ugly duckling on display, but it is pretty accurate to the original material, and like the Spirit, it has plenty of space to pose figures around it. You can also put a vehicle inside of it, and it scales pretty respectably well to the figures, so it does fit in well with dioramas with other sets and figures and items. So leave a comment with what you think about this entire series of products as a body of work, and if you have a particular favorite out of all of these, or if maybe you want to rank your top 3. For me personally, the competition between these is really tough now. If I could only have one of these, it would still be the Forward Unto Dawn, because I like spaceships and such, and that displays really well. But the Spirit, I think, is the best model out of all of these so far. It has a really good build and just the ability to put so many figures in it, not to mention the stuff that it comes with, but the design work is just really good and it does look very good on display. That does it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks in advance for your feedback. I'll talk to you again soon.
Hunter takedown. All rounds clear, Spartan. Simulation complete.